On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, we talk with Ray Jimenez about why you should set your sales goals big and why talking sports can make you a game changer. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman, and with me today is Ray Jimenez, who is not only a rising star, but also he is the National Sales Manager at Pacific Western Sales. So, Ray, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's a great pleasure to be here, Kirby. I've seen a lot of your interviews, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here to discuss this topic with you today and represent PWS, which I'm very proud and honored to be a part of this wonderful company.
Cool, man. That is awesome. So you and I met in Nashville when you were recognized as a rising star, and I've read up a little bit about you, and I know that you started in customer service. And man, when I read about sales with you, you talk about customer service a lot, and I get that. But why does customer service matter so much to someone who's in a national sales position?
Well, simply because without a customer database, you have no business. And, I take taking care of my customers very personal, and I consider them a second part of my family. And, working with the customer, ensuring that they have a great experience each and every time they place an order with PWS, I have found that to be huge as far as getting the repeat business. Customers want to work with somebody that they can trust, a supplier that's going to take a load off their shoulders once they place a PO. So I take that with me every single day. And one of the huge things that I found to be successful, to be honest, is always being available for your customer. No matter what level you're on, whether it's national or at a customer service level, you always got to have the availability to be there for your client. I can't stress enough how a weekend email or a weekend phone call, and you pick up the phone and our customer's there to say, oh my gosh, you answered or you responded to an email. That has taken us a long way here at PWS, and it's grown our business tremendously. So having that availability to be available for your clients and just developing that trust and the strategic ways of growing their business and showing the sincerity and just being yourself, that has taken us a long way, taken me a long way. So I continue to use my customer service upbringing when I first started in this wonderful industry till this day, and it will continue to do so throughout.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a funny thing. I've had clients say the same thing to me, right? That when I answer on a weekend, they're like, "Oh, I didn't expect you to be working," and I think they appreciate the hustle and the willingness to work, and so that's great. So the other thing I noticed when reading up on you, Ray, is that you're a big goals guy. It seems like you've set some lofty goals for your company, for yourself. Why do you think setting goals are so important?
It's important for the growth of the company. Being in national sales, the growth to grow profitably as a company is huge. You want to set the tone high, never settle. And having a 30% growth is what I mentioned in the PPB magazine. And I set that for every month. And if I don't reach the 30%, at least I'm in the 20s or mid-20s, right, and you have the growth profitably there. But having goals is always something that I want to set for myself because you're always out there hustling. Sales is a grind. You have the highs and the lows. And like I said, with setting the goals for yourself, you're setting the tone not only for yourself, but for the rest of the sales team as well, to let them know that any goal is obtainable, if you put in the hard work and the dedication. So my monthly goals are definitely high. The yearly goals are high as well, but I think anything is obtainable if you put in the hard work. And most importantly, you go back to your question number one, and you have the customer's trust with going to you to help you reach those goals.
Yeah, I love that, Ray. I really do. I'm a big goals guy too, and I like setting big goals because I think that if even if you don't quite reach them, as long as you have the right mindset, you're gonna maybe reach higher from a sales perspective or whatever than if you set littler goals. So I'm with you on that.
Absolutely. And sometimes, in sales, as you get the numbers, what you're setting up this year is what you're going to have to double for the following year. So if you get that big order, you're like, oh my gosh, in this industry, is it going to repeat next year? Please, because my numbers are going to be high. But, that's what this lovely industry is all about. If you don't get the repeat, then there's always that new one that comes in. So it's great.
So the other thing I noticed is it seems like you're a pretty big sports guy. I'm a big sports guy as well. So I guess I wanted to ask you, what are some lessons that business And what are some great business lessons that sports can teach us?
Well, everything. I mean, I relay sports to my everyday business life. I mean, and you could ask my wife, Evelyn. It's like everything that I watch on television is pretty much sports. But how I relate that to today's business, I mean, it's everything from teamwork, commitment, working with customers, the pressure situations that you deal with in sports, being a former collegiate athlete, which, I played college baseball as a closer. So coming in the ninth inning and working that 1, 2, 3, trying to get that save, it's tough. And same thing when trying to close a sale with the client because there's so much competition out there. How are you going to, be a game changer? And to me, just playing sports and taking that into the sales lifestyle, it's been great. And like I said, with the teamwork, the commitment, the dedication, and to go along with the hard work that you put in, to practice your trade, whether it's whatever sport you play, that relates to the business side as well. And not to mention winning and losing. I mean, how many orders have you won compared to how many orders have you lost based to your competition? Do you get up and dust yourself off, or do you, sit there and pout and say, "Oh, I didn't get it," and what do I do now? You can't feel sorry for yourself in this business. There's plenty of business for everybody, and sports has definitely gone a long way for me. And as one thing that I would like to talk about is a thing that I do amongst my sales team as well is when you're calling a customer and you're trying to break the ice. I always like to see where they're from, Cincinnati, New York, wherever the case may be. And if they give you the cold shoulder and they don't want to really talk about business, then you ask about that particular sports team in their area. And that has taken me such a long way as far as getting the conversation started, not talking about business, and just engaging in something that is, a part of what they do every day as far as their sports team goes. So sports has been a huge asset to me as far as the growth with PWS, and will continue to be, and I'll continue to use it as a sales tool, going forward here.
That's a great idea, Ray. I love that. Just bringing up the local sports team. I like that a lot. Now, you've answered my questions, and I really appreciate that. I give everybody the opportunity to ask me.
I'm sitting over here. It's kind of hot in here, man. I got on the hot seat. It's kind of tough.
Yeah. Well, you get a chance to ask me some questions now. I understand you have a couple for me.
Absolutely. What we've done is we hid these actually overnight in one of our top-selling lunch totes. It's our 12-0808. We can do a little marketing, right? Come on, that's what it's all about. So we've hid the questions in here, and
I love it.
Let's see what we got out of here. So here we go. What successful strategies have worked for you when it comes to marketing to your target audience?
Great question, Ray. Certainly, from an overall branding perspective, I do a lot via social media, video, that sort of thing. But if I'm talking about a really specific targeted client, I've had a great deal of success with what I call bumpy mail. When it's a specific targeted client that I want to reach, we like to do some creative mailers that have promo inside that are, whether it builds around a theme and we write creative letters so that when I pick up the phone and call them, even if they don't want to talk to me, they know who it is. And so I've had a lot of success with that. We've done not only just creative mailers, but also what I call tiered mailers. So they get one, then they get a second one, then they get a third one. And I do that in a span of a few days or weeks. And by the time I get a hold of them, they know who I am. And I've had a lot of success with that.
That is great. That is great to know, and we're definitely going to take advantage of that, definitely. My second one is we're in sales. Obviously, we deal with phone calls, but a lot of today's clients like to deal with emails. So what can you help us out with as far as when we do make a call, hey, we're going to send you an email, and customers reply back, or they say to us over the phone, don't send it to me, Ray. I have a ton of emails a day, so I'm just going to delete it. What can I do to improve myself? Because I'm always willing to learn and make that email a little bit more catchy so that customers do open it and, take a look at what we have to offer.
No, I think that's a great question. I think that one of the things really it's about how we market today is about providing value first. So obviously if they're wanting a quote, if they've requested the email from you, I think they're very likely to open it. But I like to put together packages that provide value. So maybe it's not just a link to my website, but maybe it's a report on 3 ways to increase your sales. I'll include that in there. You want to be on the lookout for that. So in other words, whatever, you're going to send them information about your clients or your customer, your company, but you also are sending them something that is really them focused. So whether it's, if it's a manufacturing, maybe it's about safety. If it's about, you're trying to help them market their company, it's 3 tips on this. So it's a report or something that adds value to them, as opposed to being company focused. I think sometimes our marketing is me focused, and I think by adding value to the customer, you have a much higher rate of their willingness to spend some time on it and open it. So I guess that would be my feedback on that.
Perfect.
That makes sense.
Awesome. I appreciate that information. Absolutely. I'm definitely going to use that going forward here at PWS, because we're always trying to improve, and we're a younger company, and that still has a lot more room to grow and improve in each and every department. So, listening to you and seeing your videos, we definitely take notes and always want to continue to try to be the best in every department, including marketing, sales, and customer service, of course.
Well, thanks, Ray. I really appreciate you taking the time, and we'll have to do it again sometime, okay?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Kirby.
Okay, that wraps up another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching, but wait! Can you do me a favor? Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it already. The way to do it's right over here. And hey, if you want to watch the last episode, check that out over here. Again, before you leave, subscribe!